I mean, they shouldn't give a marriage. It's totally illogical because basically they don't qualify for it. As Crazy 316 penned, he says they don't qualify for marriage. They qualify for civil union. Civil union can give them protection of if two filthy sodomites want to share a house and protect themselves financially, they could get a civil union and fight for getting all the benefits on civil union. So one guy dies, the other guy's, just all the normal stuff that a marriage has, but they're not married as far as a family goes, because marriage is for two pieces that can be joined. And I'm sorry, but you can't put two vaginas together, and you can't put two penises together. They cannot continue their bloodline. They can't. No two sodomites or lesbians could do it. Rosie O'Donnell has 3 kids in her house. 3. Actually, I just heard she broke up, her and her wife, or whatever it was, broke up. But, okay, so the first 2 kids were adopted, which I don't agree with adoption going to homos, but they're doing it, even if they're not married. But, okay.
I know, that is unbelievable. It's like saying, oh, here, let's just give kids to pedophiles.
Oh, yeah.
Like why not?
Yep. So Rosie and her so-called wife adopted 2 kids, and then the third one, because she probably, of course, it's a fake family. So what they go do? They go to make it a little less counterfeit by going getting her wife artificially inseminated. Well, where'd that seed come from? Did that seed come from Rosie O'Donnell's loins? No, it came from a stranger, I'm sure. It came from the sperm bank.
Yeah.
So. Does Rosie O'Donnell have bloodline in any of those 3 kids? No. And her so-called wife has only bloodline in half of the one that she got artificially inseminated. So, compared to a Christian, conservative, American, patriotic family, whose strength is bloodline, because you got cousins, I mean, it's blood, and it's different if it's blood. Now, is that a strong family, Rosie and her fake wife and her fake kids? I mean, is that a strong family? Is that going to be a strong family 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now? No, because they're nothing. I mean, it's nothing but like adopting a pet. They're nothing. So, it's just counterfeit. All it is, and the homos are used by the elite. I mean, these think tanks, they think of this stuff. They've used the homosexuals to violate our First Amendment, and they've finally done it. They've finally done it with the hate speech laws. They passed that. They threw it in, and they actually threw it in with another bill because they knew it wouldn't pass on its own, and it passed. So hopefully it gets knocked down. But in the end, that's the only thing that got it through, and the government just wants control of speech because we're speaking against them, and against, the New World Order. But they don't really care about the sodomites. They're just using them to break up Christians, and that's their biggest tool. Think about it. Who on YouTube is the biggest enemy to Christians in getting the word out and stuff? It's the sodomites. And they get mad, but all those evolutionists and atheists that keep coming on our videos, at least 50% of them are homosexual. I'll throw the seed out. That's why I say something. They go, "Why'd you have to say something about homos?" And then they'll go on, and then they defend them to the end. And I'm like, I knew it. I'm like, that's why they're homosexual. That's why they're an atheist, because they don't want to believe in God, because they don't want to worry about judgment for being a filthy sodomite. So they don't want to believe in a creator. They don't want to believe they were evolved from dirty apes, because they're dirty humans now.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yep. Good stuff. Golly, I could not have been any kinder in that video. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that I got flagged.
I could believe it. I kind of thought maybe it was going to be coming, but I didn't want to see it coming, but I can believe it because I've had about 10 accounts. See, I had one main account for years on YouTube, okay, but it wasn't a political account. I wasn't even really into it that much. It was all my hobby stuff. It was music. It was a lot of electronics and hot rod stuff. We were building turbo cars and stuff, and just stuff like that. Not fad stuff, not like wannabe rap and the fad and the stupid racer cars. I mean, this is hands-on building stuff, welding, building, shop stuff, and on a Drinking with Bob video, and he's like a Republican, hardcore, whatever. He's just a ranter. Something came up about gay marriage, and it was about the time of Prop 8, and I said, I don't agree with gay marriage, and I also don't agree with gays adopting. And of course, that's my first time I noticed that there was all these homos on YouTube, and they jumped my case on there. Well, that wasn't good enough to argue with me on that guy's video. They, of course, like filthy sodomites that they are, you know, are dirty, and they go and jump go through my account. I had videos of my kids on there, and they called my kids whores and sluts and hope they died on every video I had. I never seen anybody behave like that. I've argued with some dudes over music and cars and stuff, and you know what? They stayed on the video we were arguing about. They didn't go to my videos of my kids and call them names. But when I tangled with the homosexuals and debated with them, they couldn't keep it to the video. They jumped my account, and they put filthy stuff all over it. So I made another account called All Dicks Are for Chicks, because it was obvious, just to debate them because I didn't want them ruining my account. Well, that account got flagged down left and right. I literally put a video up there, one of my first videos, of a bolt and a nut screwing it together to demonstrate that only male and female parts could be joined. And guess what? And it didn't have anything nasty in it. They flagged it down and YouTube took it off.
Oh my gosh, YouTube is so ridiculous.
I put another video with a piston going in an engine block. I said, see, this is a male part, and I put two pistons together. I go, see, they can't be formed into a union. And I said, just like you can't put two female parts. And I slid the piston in an engine block. I go, see, this part fits this part. It's designed to fit this part. Well, and that was just a demonstration to say you can't pervert this. It doesn't. Its design is useless if you alter it, which is the truth. They could force it. That's what I did. I forced something inside something else that didn't fit. I go, you could force it, which I mean in the anus. I go, but now it's broke. They flagged it down. It didn't even say anything. A 10-year-old could have watched that video and not have picked up on what I meant, and it wouldn't have been, it was rated PG, basically, which is nothing on YouTube. And they deleted it. So I kept putting that account up like 10 times. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? Because I've always been a Christian, but I was just a slacker. I'm like, this world is evil. I saw all what people were like. I'm like, wow, we're further down the rabbit hole than I thought. And I just started really getting back into the politics and everything, and just so it actually cleaned up myself.
The reason why I've gotten involved more is because the more you learn about these people and how just disgusting they are, and how they treat you like if you just say one little thing.
Yep.
That's when you just end up getting more involved because you're like, dude, these people aren't even decent at all.
No, they're totally they're depraved minds. They're reprobates. And I actually know what that means now. When you read Romans 1 and it starts talking about how the world gets to where they exchange the natural use for the unnatural, and then it also goes on homosexuality and wickedness and a bunch of other perversions, and it says God gives them over to a reprobate mind. And there's another verse on that too. My dad was even telling me about it. He goes, they so turned away from God. They already had their chance. They still turned away from God. He says God just gives them over to it, makes them burn more for their lusts, for their perverted lusts. And that's why you'll notice that homos don't just have homo sex and keep it quiet. They get more and more depraved to do it, to where they're using rubber fists in each other's anus and sick things, and they go out in public, and they have random group sex in these bars and stuff. They go to these clubs and have sex with strangers. Look at that furry fandom thing. I don't know if you've been exposed to that yet on YouTube, and I was shocked when I saw that, but there's a group of people, you'll notice a lot of homos in their avatars, they have like fox faces, like stuffed animals, like Disney characters. Well, they dress up in these Disney character outfits for real, in real life, and go around to clubs, to these little clubs in them, and they have sex, anonymous sex, while they're wearing those uniforms. Anal sex, whatever, nasty, filthy sex. That's what the world is like in those groups. And it's not that much of the world. It's like 2% of the population, but 2% affects. Put 2% of oil, of dirty dirt. Take dirt and oil or whatever, and put it in clean water. Put 98% pure water and put 2% of filth into it, and what does that water look like? The same person. It's filthy. My account got flagged today.
It's dirty.
So yours. But remember, one of the things that Pastor Anderson was doing, I don't think it was the week you were there, it was a couple weeks after, but he did that. He took like a little bit of chocolate milk, and he took orange juice, what was it? I don't know, like water or something. And separate, he was like saying, yeah, it tastes good. He goes, here, let me put just a little bit in there. And he put like a little bit of that in there. And he goes, now taste it. And it was nasty, That's basically what it is. It takes just a little bit to make everything dirty, which they've done.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I guess I'll just be chilling for 2 weeks.
No, well, just sign up. Just go sign up for another account temporarily. Just call it KassieDill 3 or something, or version 2 or something. You know.
Yeah.
But go to that. You have a pen? Because I can give you the other website. You should go up and then add me to a friend on this other site.